Hello everybody out there, how you guys doing today? This is just going to be a short live stream. I just want to check in and say hi to everybody and hi to all the new subscribers. My channel is not really about drama, even though I like to share some of it sometimes and talk about and discuss it, but I'm not really about the drama a whole lot. But it is pretty nice sometimes to have something different to watch and just help you deal with your own issues. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes when you watch different things, it kind of helps take away from your own little issues that's going on and stuff you might be fighting with. So it's nice to go to other channels. Like, I like sometimes the drama where two creators are roasting each other back and forth and giving each other a hard time. As long as it doesn't come to where somebody actually gets physically hurt, mentally hurt, or people be calling people's jobs and trying to call like issues. Like, you guys remember the show? Like, there used to be an old show out a long time ago, and it was like called Roasting the Stars or something. And people would pick on Burt Reynolds or Tommy Lee, Pamela Anderson. They just all cutting up and having a good time. So that's what I like to watch these channels sometimes, where they kind of roast each other back and forth and giving each other a hard time. I just don't like it if somebody actually gets really hurt. And like for me, when I see other people roasting other folks and it kind of goes back and forth, in a weird kind of sense, it makes me have thicker skin. You know, sometimes people will say things to you and it'll trigger you, and it'll be a certain word. But if you actually look, you can find a lot of people use that exact same word as a trigger. And it's not really meant to be for one said person. It's just things that people say to trigger people. For me, going through all that kind of stuff before on Facebook, at first it kind of got to me, you know what I mean? And then I started realizing that it's just a trigger word. And it cannot control me unless I allow it to control me. So for me, going into a lot of these roasting rooms and groups I used to be in, and people talking trash about me, and I'm trying to give it back. Like, I was never good at roasting people, but it was funny, and it gave me thicker skin. Like, it made me not take things so personal. And that's what happens to a lot of folks out there, that they take these trigger words to where it controls them. I've been laying out in the sun some, and it's trying to get me a little vitamin D going on. I look kind of pale in this screen right here. But yeah, you know, it's I like the whole thing, like Benny Keys and Molly Golightly and Bullhorn Betty and Burnt Toast, the group Crude as Fuck, Dolly Vision. I like Dolly Vision, Dolly World. That stuff's funny. A lot of crazy stuff going on. And what about Candace now did a video on No Thanks Investigates that she is over and done with Dawn Wells. So I think that maybe she's dropping Dawn Wells for Benny Keys. Because Benny Keys is supposed to be down there March 15th to see Candace Wells, and there might be some lovers in the air. I can feel it coming in the air. So I don't know. But I mean, and Candace, like, she literally got her own YouTube channel now. And Jamie from Predator or Predator Nation was trying to warn her to be careful, because there's going to be a lot of people joining her channel to really try to get under her skin. And yes, these YouTube streets can be hard at times. That's no lie. Oh, I'm still sweating a little bit right here. And so yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. A lot of crazy stuff going on. It is funny though. It's definitely funny. I enjoy it. Too much though of the drama and too much of the negativity when you deal with like morning, day, and night, and you go to bed watching these drama channels, whatever, and then you wake up and you're into the drama again, then it can mimic your day, and you'll find yourself just sitting around the house, not really cleaning nothing, you know what I mean, doing your things that you should be doing, going outside, getting some fresh air, washing your vehicle, or, you know, stuff like that. It's good to have a little bit of everything. Like, if you watch everything was always so positive and no negativity out there, what's going on, you'll be like blinded. You don't know how to deal with it and handle it. There's like, I know a lot of Christian families won't even let their kids like watch TV, and it's all about like church, and they paint this picture that everything is so beautiful and so perfect. But when a child kind of gets older and they start seeing the world for what it is, they don't know how to handle it. It's like, oh my God, this world is falling apart, but our world's always been falling apart. But it's only going to fall apart. A lot of parents don't want their kids to watch too much on TV, and I get that. But when you hide them from what's really going on in this world, they don't know how to handle it. Everything is like, you know, you got to take everything with a grain of salt. Mark Frugal News. Like I said, if you're around positive all the time and you got your blinders on to what's really going on in the world, it's like, for people who take like depression medication, because I used to take a lot of depression meds in the past for all my self-harming and all that. And what this medication does is it kind of like numbs your emotions. It's like somebody in your life could die, but because you're on all these depression meds, you don't know how to feel. It's like it kind of makes you numb, and that is unhealthy. And I think it's okay to take some to help you get by, but it's when you depend on it every single day for the rest of your life, you'll never actually work on what's going on inside you. Like, I know the depression meds can help calm your nerves, so you can try to absorb some things, but some of that meds do nothing but numb you up. These bad feelings inside my head, that some of this medication that I took before, it intensified it. And it definitely made me want to act on it. And like coming to like self-harming, like I did self-harm a little bit here and there, nothing major. But when I got numb and put on all these depression meds, it intensified. And I became a major self-harmer. And I am actually... And on the 28th, I think, of this month, I will be 6 years cut-free. 6 years cut-free, where I didn't allow things, the people around me, the situations going on around me, to trigger me. Now, I've came close. Like, I had a few episodes where I was started shaking, and I was like, oh, God, I just want to self-harm again. It's weird because, you know, I mean, a lot of times when you self-harm, it releases your endorphins. This February 28th, I believe was the date. There's a Facebook post when I last self-harmed. And I did a post on it on Facebook to tell my friends and family out there that I'm sorry I let them down, that I allowed someone to control my emotions and for me to do something so stupid again. It definitely feels good to have more control, because there's been a lot of stuff going on. Like 2018, June 3rd, 2018, I lost my sister to her addiction. 3 months and 1 day later, I losing my mother because she had a bad heart. She couldn't take it no more. Like when we lost my sister, that look in my mother's eye out of her. We took a lot out of a lot of us. There's been a mental breakdown. I literally flipped a child, and I remember being in school sometimes, and on all the news you would hear about the world's fixing to end because it's supposed to be a meteor supposed to come and hit our planet, and it's going to devastate our planet, and it's going to take away from the food, and there's going to be so many people dying from starving. There was a lot of that stuff that a lot of people, when you have these, you have mental issues on the inside. Like I deal with like PTSD and borderline personality disorder. And it can mess with your mind when there's a lot of crazy stuff happening in the world, because you're already in a state of mind where everything is just so upside down. And like I said, too much information could overwhelm you. I'm going to be planning on doing a lot of stories, live streams, and I'm going to get down to the life that I had lived from being molested as a child when I was like 8 years old from a male babysitter, to being physically and mentally abused from my father. And I love that man, and I forgave him a long time ago. But you know what? He has a hard time forgiving himself. And I know that I know himself. Like, I understand. It took me a while to understand, but later on in life, when I started getting older, I started understanding how things can mess with your mind, and you'll wind up doing things, saying things that you don't mean, and then afterwards you got to apologize for it. That's like some people have a hard time showing their emotions, especially a lot of us guys, because we, as guys, we are taught that we're not supposed to cry and show emotions. We got to be tough and don't cry like a girl. And we suppress our feelings and our emotions. So as you get older, some people, and even myself, when you start drinking, you know, that sometimes when you drink, you're like, oh, dude, I love you. And, oh, dude, I love you. And you're like really out there in emotion and everything. But for some people that when you're drinking, you'll have like these little mental breakdowns, because you'll remember something sad or something that happened to you, and you'll start crying. And sometimes you'll say things and do things and hate it and have to try to forgive yourself for a long time. So I've learned a lot about that. If I drink, I'll just drink a little bit. Like, I know my limits now. And I know that if I start drinking, I start getting emotional, to be careful what I post on Facebook and I say on YouTube, because I know I have to try to go through and deal with the mistakes I made, because I let alcohol control my emotions. Yeah, there are many stories to come. And I just want to thank everybody for liking my videos. And if you guys would, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button if you want to. And when you hit that subscribe button, make sure you put it on all notifications. That should be something that automatically happens. When you subscribe to somebody, it should be that you get all the notifications. Unless you want to make it where you just get some of the notifications. But I'm going to tell a lot of my stories. And I'm planning on going on Crafting Through the Lies channel. I really love that channel. She's a very kick-ass person. She don't hide the things that happen to her. She don't judge people for having a criminal past or going through what they go through. So I'm going to go on her panel one day and tell a little bit of my story as well. I thank you guys. And much love to y'all. Happy flipping Friday. And positive vibes. See you guys soon.